Okay guys, it's Saturday. Don't normally do a podcast today, but as soon as it's the Saturday before the election, I thought, why not? Let's give it a go. And here's my daily prediction. Win prediction yesterday was 70-30 for Trump, and I'm actually having to revise that down. I'm going to go for 60-40 for Trump, okay? Trump's still to win, but it's looking a little bit more dubious given the bubble that a lot of people are finding themselves in the US. But anyway, let's get on. Today's episode is about Alex Jones on the Joe Rogan podcast, and that's probably going to get this video removed or suppressed in some way. So make sure you like it and share it if you can, if you find it interesting. Before we start talking about it, I'm going to take one of Alex Jones's products. I've done an unboxing review of them, and every day I'm popping one up to the election and beyond, maybe, if I don't keel over before now and then. So let's get them. These pills are freaking massive. We've got a little bit of cotton wool in there, keep them nice. So yeah, there we go. Popping one of these, Brain Force. Paul Joseph Watson uses it, Alex Jones swears by it. It could just be a load of powder for me. So let me pop this and let me get my brain in order for the US election. It's quite a big pill to swallow. I'm red pilling here. And then we'll talk about AJ on the Joe Rogan podcast. Okay, that's done. Oh. Brain surge. Brain is surging already, guys. Okay. So, yesterday I watched, I'm not really a Joe Rogan fan. I don't really watch him that much. I find him a little bit dull, although he does ask some good questions. And whenever I do watch him, I tend to have to smoke a cigar as well. You might have seen my YouTube subscribers, you might have seen that post I did on YouTube of me sucking on a big fat cigar while I'm listening to the AJ on the Joe Rogan podcast yesterday. But it's noteworthy. We need to talk about it. Oh, by the way, I'm in the rain here. I'm in the South Colombian Andes. Sorry, in the Colombian Andes in South America. And the second rain season is just starting. To be honest, it rains all throughout the year. Anyway, so sucking a big fat cigar, listening, having a bit of a brandy at the same time. And it's a good feeling. It's a nice little chat. It's like sitting down with mates and, engaging in a little bit of a debate with them, hearing some pushback, some jokes. And AJ, he's been on the podcast before. He's been on numerous TV shows as well. I remember him with Andrew Neil in the UK, where he totally lost his rag. And he's been on other ones, but he tends to come across, he's got a lot to say, AJ. He's not the best deliverer of what he needs to say, and he just likes to just blurt it out. He's feeling panicked, he's feeling rushed, he's feeling like the fight is happening and he wants to get his punches in straight away, and he just burns out. But I don't want to knock AJ because he is the original conspiracy theorist, and he said a lot of stuff. I kind of get the feeling looking back that he just tries and says it and sees what sticks, and then in a few years time, a few months, he says, I called it. So he likes to call a lot of things, likes to put out a lot of predictions out there and then see if they stick. But I'm not sure if that's entirely fair, because he is quite accurate about some of this stuff. And if you watch the Joe Rogan show yesterday, it's just got over 10 million hits, sailed past 10 million. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 20, 30, 40, 50 million views. That would be mad. So yeah, and he says a lot of stuff in there, and there's a lot of nostalgia. I particularly like the 1 hour, it's a 3-hour podcast. I particularly like the 1 hour mark, where he talks about Bohemian Grove and the controversy surrounding it, and we get to see clip hits, and we get to hear Alex Jones's sort of honest memories and feedback of that time. And yeah, Alex Jones is a person I hold dear to my heart. I've watched him nearly all my life. I've got his podcast feed not changed for ages. It's been with me for ages. And he does a good bit. He does a good show. He does talk a little bit over Joe Rogan a bit too much. He tries to mix it into the Alex Jones show. But they've got good facts. They've got good figures there. I get the feeling that Alex Jones was burning out near the end. Some of the things that they tried to fact check weren't turning up near the end of the show, but earlier on in the show the fact checking was doing good, and AJ was being proved right on a whole host of different subjects. AJ, like you know, well, you should know, he's been banned. He likes to. He's got his website and he's got this banned video platform and Prison Planet with Paul Joseph Watson, another popular YouTuber. But AJ has been banned on pretty much every mainstream social media platform. It was to do with Sandy Hook and him calling it a hoax or something like that, and the parents got upset, the kids were really dead and so on. I think he tried to explain it out, but they just took ultra offense, took him to court. And then the social media platforms, YouTube and all, they used that as a reason to remove him from their platforms. And since then, well, early on you couldn't even mention his name. If you mention his name, you'd get banned or suppressed. So I'm very worried about this video that you're watching right now. A lot of my stuff, particularly the Hunter Biden laptop video, is being suppressed. It's really just external sources that are bringing it to my YouTube channel. Within YouTube you will not find my videos, so I really need you guys to like and share, okay? It's definitely a good podcast. Check it out. I'll put the link down there somewhere. If not, you can find it. Just type Alex Jones Joe Rogan. It should still be there. Spotify on his Joe Rogan's podcast host might remove it. I think they removed the previous one of Alex Jones. So Joe Rogan is really pushing it. He's pushing the boundaries of his own contracts with his podcast host. But yeah, it's been a good one. It's been great. I definitely recommend you should watch it. And I'm not sure if Alex Jones has redeemed himself. I think in my eyes he kind of looks more calm, more composed. He does talk about quitting the fight in a year's time, but I kind of don't believe that. He's talking about health problems. He's a little bit chubby now, AJ, drinking a bit too much. But it would be a sad day if he quits. I'd be very sorry. When I was listening to that in the Joe Rogan podcast near the end, I was kind of just shouting out to him, man, just take a break. Take a break with Joe Rogan, you know, like what Joe Rogan was saying, take a break and give it a rest and get your health back. I would be totally happy with a weekly Alex Jones media presence, like podcast or video service, something like that would be great. He doesn't need to have such a big, extensive sort of news broadcasting setup like he has now with InfoWars. But yeah, thanks AJ. I hope you stay alive for a long time and you keep the fight. Check out my other videos, guys, and subscribe. This has been a long one. Please check it out. Much love.